What's going on, everybody out there listening? I just wanted to kind of jump on real quick and give you a little bit some of my thoughts on the Minnesota riots, the stuff that happened with the black dude that was killed. Um, yeah, what a shame that was. And no citizen of this country should ever have to go through what that poor man had to go through. It breaks my heart to see bad cops doing crap like that to citizens. So I wanted to kind of come on and relay my feelings on that. And I just it's hard for me to fathom in today's day and age that we still see crap like that going on, and it just completely breaks my heart. So I wanted to come on and just kind of give my friends and stuff out there my thoughts on what could be coming down the pipeline. I know that I've had some friends that have shared some stuff with me, both from Alaska and from the lower 48, on things that everyone I think should be looking forward to, because if the protests in Minneapolis are not eventually quelled and brought to some sort of resolution, then it's going to spread. If what'll happen is, if people start seeing that law enforcement, the National Guard, whatever, doesn't get things under control, it's going to give them ideas on doing it to other cities. So if you do live in a predominantly blue major city in this United States, it would be a very good idea for you to have some kind of an escape plan to get out of the city, or at least be able to protect your home. It's just that's kind of the stuff that goes through my head. So, you're seeing all kinds of businesses that had nothing to do with this instant, predominantly blue. It's you're going to see businesses torched that have nothing to do with this incident. We've already seen Target destroyed, AutoZone destroyed, the police precinct in Minneapolis destroyed, and many other businesses along the way. And there seems to be no slowdown in it. It's gone. This is, I think, the third day, I think. And now people in Minneapolis are starting to arm up to guard their businesses. So, right, Jeffrey? I'm reading the comments here. Jeffrey says, looks like the governor who was trying to enforce crazy laws is somehow okay with people running around in mass protesting. This isn't protest. This is a friggin' full-on riot. Protests don't include burning buildings, burning cop cars. And this is happening in other cities, not just Minneapolis. There's been riots in LA. I heard that there's riots now going on in Denver. They're going on everywhere. So don't be surprised if what's going on in Minneapolis doesn't spread across the United States, and probably mostly predominantly blue cities. The cities that I've heard of so far are basically blue cities, and I think a lot of that has to do with governors and mayors telling the police departments to stand down. And on top of that, I think that if you get enough protesters that can overrun a city, then the chances of being able to monitor it and to keep it down are slim and slimmer whenever you get that many people doing this kind of thing. Now, I do know that in Minneapolis, they're flying helicopters around. They're trying to identify as many people as they can, but that's not going to do any kind of, that's not going to do much, considering the damage that they've already done. I know that I've seen people out. Yeah, I know, Kathleen, I know. There's other cities that are already getting hammered. Louisville, Kentucky is starting to do it. Let's see. Jesse Rude posts, Dustin's there's very interesting note. The burning down private businesses is total BS, but them going after responsible for tyranny is very interesting. When a government becomes destructive of their means to protect life and liberty, it is the right and duty of the people to alter or abolish it. This is an interesting time. Yeah, Jesse, I agree with that 100%, but at the same time, I don't believe that it should be businesses that should be getting torched. It should be the city government. It should be the state government that needs to be abolished and taken down, not private citizens or private industry. When I say private, I mean they don't need to be torching AutoZone. They don't need to be torching Target. They don't need to be torching other stores. I know that there was a guy that was shot trying to go into a pawn shop. So there's all kinds of private businesses that are being affected by this. You guarantee you they are. It is one thing whenever you're going in and you're protesting like Martin Luther King used to, and you know, we get it. We don't want to see any kind of death or anything like that in the United States. At least the conservative side of things don't. You know, it's something where whenever you have as many people involved in this now, you've also got people fueling this. You got well, I'm going to say, I don't want to say reverend because he's not really a true reverend, but you've got Al Not So Sharpton on the scene now. You got Jesse Jackson there fueling the fire. So, you know, you've got all kinds of things in the mix now that is going to do nothing but fuel the flames on this. So, let's see here. What's going on, Sammy Emmanuel from Canada? Nice to see you on. Let's see. What's going on, Ed? How you doing, man? Hopefully you can make it over tomorrow. I posted something on there to get together. You can come over and check out the deck and maybe have a beer if you drink. I'll have some beers here for people if they want to come over. Good to see you on, Ed. See, Target got burned with the fire department back. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, and here's something else that's interesting about the thing that's going on in Minneapolis. There's people going in trying to save other people that are injured and hurt, the EMTs and stuff, and they're getting pelted with rocks and things like that. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to have the EMTs and the medical staff and the first responders that are just going to say the hell with it. You're on your own. And, you know, there's older folks and stuff in Minneapolis and stuff like that. The one thing I can't tolerate and one I don't like to see is last night there was a video going around, and it was right before Target got looted, or was in the middle of it. There was an older woman in a wheelchair that was trying to stop, and she shouldn't have been. She was trying to stop people from looting and things like that. But the looters turned a fire extinguisher on, sprayed her completely, unloaded it on this poor woman, and in the face, in the upper body, everything. I don't know if she made it out of there or not, but if you've ever been around a fire extinguisher and you get sprayed in the face with that, the chances of you breathing that stuff in is extremely high. And I don't know if that woman made it out. I hope she did. And she was in an automated wheelchair, so hopefully it didn't ruin her wheelchair, her mode of transportation. But that's the kind of stuff that makes this so much worse. You know, it's bad enough we already lost a guy due to bad policing, and now you're getting other people that are, you know, if you see my cats in the background, sorry about that. I don't have my green screen up right now. We built a desk and everything for my wife, so I took the green screen down for a little bit, but so now you can see the back of what happens in my house a little easier. But they claim she had a knife. Well, you know what? If you're in a wheelchair and you're around that many people protesting, you gotta have a way to defend yourself. They need to be lucky she didn't have a gun. But at the same time, you know, who cares? She got sprayed in the face. This is a disabled woman. She gets sprayed in the face with a chemical fire retardant. And, you know, if we were to do that, if we were out rallying and we were to spray somebody in the face, that's a freaking felony right there, because it's chemical warfare. I know because I've inquired into it, going to rallies and stuff. I thought having maybe a small canister of a fire extinguisher as a way of as a deterrent would be a good idea. But yeah, it's all bad. I mean, you know, when you're it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, this whole situation's bad. But here's the thing I want everyone that lives close to a major city to understand. If this doesn't stop, if this doesn't get squashed, if this doesn't somehow start to wind down, you're going to start seeing this kind of stuff across major cities, because the thing is the people that are wanting this kind of destruction, they're seeing this and they're seeing exactly how long it's going to take for this to go away. Because if it, especially if the police and say the National Guard can't get a handle on it, they're going to realize that they can get away with the same thing. So if you're around a major city, make sure that you're, at least for the next week, depending on how long this goes, make sure you have a way out. If you don't have a way out, then make sure you have a way to defend yourself. Make sure that you keep your eyes open, because things can pop off pretty fast. The stuff that's happened in Minnesota, which is, I've been to Minnesota, and I've been to Minneapolis, St. Paul. I actually, at one point, was looking at a place to buy there. This has been years ago, but that's actually not a bad city. And I know that they've had a bunch of different people from other countries shipped in there, refugees, whatever you want to call them. So the demographic there's changed a lot, but those are actually not terrible cities. And to see this kind of destruction and stuff happening there, this isn't like Oakland. This isn't like a lot of the slums and stuff that you see in other cities. This is, I mean, friggin', if I was to classify it, I'd say it's almost like Middle America, but it's up north, of course. So knock it off. Yeah, cats are hissing at each other down here. But it's something that we're going to have to. This may be the future of the United States, at least until we get some kind of a thing figured out to where we can, have the police officers not hurting people intentionally, and that's kind of what this looked like. I'll go over a little bit of my thoughts on the whole cop thing. I mean, this guy that was on top of the black guy had his hands in his pockets while the guy was handcuffed on the ground. There's absolutely no reason for you to do that. Now, I used to be a prison guard, and we were taught how to take down inmates and things like that. And nothing that we were taught, they didn't teach you to put your neck and your knees on someone's neck. They didn't teach you how to basically restrict someone's breathing. I mean, one of the things that they taught us, if anything, was you have to protect the airway of the person that you're trying to either apprehend or subdue, and you don't kneel on someone's neck. Now, there are some things that we're taught also. If they can speak, then they can still breathe. But you know what? Whenever you got the weight of someone on your back or on your neck, it's not going to be a way that you can breathe. You can't get out of it. This guy was trapped, and he was trapped against a vehicle, from what the video shows. So he had nowhere to go. And the thing that sucks too is the other cops obviously standing around not doing anything. But instead of the people that were filming doing anything, they just stood there and kept filming it too. So I think that there's a lot of people that are at fault for this. The cop, obviously, that did the deed, he's the one that needs to go up and have the worst charges pressed. But I believe that the people that stand around and watch that kind of stuff, who knows how many people were there? I mean, this is in front of a store, so I'm sure there's people coming and going, and they just stand there and let this happen. I mean, no offense, but I'd go to jail to protect someone, or at least try and help someone that's in a situation like that. So I don't know. America is right now going through some serious turmoil when it comes to both policing and human rights and some all kinds of other stuff. I mean, we have to really look at ourselves in the mirror and make that decision. Would we help someone that's in that situation? I know that most of the conservatives that I know back the blue, but when the blue doesn't want to protect us, they would rather harm us, then I think we have an issue. Now, I know that, I'll probably get slammed on here for saying that, but, for the most part, most of the cops that I personally know are good dudes. They want to do nothing but protect us. But you know what, as any other group, how many people in the police department have been infiltrating the police department for years, looking out for their own skins, looking out for possible political means? And so you got to think about that too. How many people, if you believe the George Soros thing, how many people in the police departments did he embed in there? You know, I mean, it's something that everyone's got to kind of think about. So, I believe that the guy that, this is my personal opinion on the guy that got the guy that did the deed. I think that it should be an eye for an eye. I think the guy should be released into the mob, and I think they should let the mob deal with it. I guarantee you do that, that would probably slow some of it down. That's my opinion. I mean, this guy literally killed someone on camera and smiled about it. If you watch the whole video, you'll actually see him smiling at the guy that's taking the video. So he knew what he was doing, and he still did it anyway. And he's gotten away with it so far. He's not in jail. He's not been detained. He's not done anything other than hide in his house. And he may not even be at his house anymore because I think they got his address. But I don't know. You know, I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't back the blue that are conservative. But here's the thing, folks. If you don't back the blue, you don't back some kind of law and order, then, you know, that's kind of what this country has been based on, is some form of law and order. Now, I'm not saying that they need to go out and they need to restrict our guns and stuff, but what do you do with the people that go out and do these kinds of crimes? You know, they go out and they rob a bank, or they go out and they rape somebody. You got to have some kind of law enforcement that will take them into custody and do things. If not, then we end up becoming a lawless society. So you have to back the blue, but you have to back the right people in the blue. There needs to be, I don't know what the solution is on that. You know, you got to have good people that are in the police departments and law enforcement agencies. Unfortunately, we've seen the divide both in the FBI, in the federal institutions, the CIA, and now local law enforcement that don't follow the Constitution. They don't follow any rule of real law anymore. So it's something that we're going to have to kind of figure out as a society, what we want and what we don't want. So I'm not sure if my feed is locked up. It looks like my Facebook feed on my computer here is not working like it's supposed to. So I'm not sure exactly if I'm still live or not. But anyway, I wanted to kind of come on and share some of my thoughts on that, because I think that right now we are at a crossroads. Any rule of and we're going to have a serious problem here coming up shortly if this doesn't resolve itself in Minneapolis. So if you're close to a major police department, or I'm sorry, major blue city, especially blue cities, make sure you're armed. And I wouldn't even put them past it to start stuff in red city. So any major city, make sure that you have yourself well protected and you have an escape route planned out if that's going to be the case. And make sure you have more than one actually escape route, because yeah, I lived in Denver for quite a while. I know the area pretty well. There's areas there that you do not want to go through, especially if stuff like this is going on. I know that like down by Coors Field, which is considered 5 Points in Denver, is a bad neighborhood. You don't want to have to drive through there if you can avoid it. Same thing with Louisville. There's a lot of places in Louisville that you don't want to ever be in. You know, your best bet would be to go toward like Elizabethtown, you know, toward Fort Knox, places like that. You'd be better off. You don't ever want to go down through the downtown areas. It'd be really easy for you to get wrapped up in streets blocked and all kinds of bad stuff. Anyway, you know, have a plan for a way out in case you need it. That's all I got to say. But let's see here. All the cops were laid off or fired that were involved. I think the 4 cops that were there actually were fired, responding to Matthew Alexander. Well, you know, Jeff, I said that because that's my feeling on it. I mean, if somebody were to kill one of my family members, I'd want to kill the dude. I'd want eye for an eye. That's just me. Let's see here. Carrie Fleming, all 4 officers were fired. All 4 that were involved were fired. Look it up, Tank. Tell me what you think. Let's see here. The plate says police. I don't see. Look to the left of the man kneeling on him. I'll have to go back through and review the comments, Eric, to make sure that, or Jeffrey, so that I know what you're talking about. Oh, oh, sorry about that, Matthew. It's hard to keep up with the comments because they kind of hit sporadically, so I apologize. Anyway, I pray that everybody's safe. I pray that everybody avoids the situations that are going on in Minneapolis. I know I have some friends down there that are kind of monitoring the situation, and hopefully calmer heads start to prevail. Not saying that that's going to happen anytime soon, but I do know that they are calling for other riots and other demonstrations starting tomorrow night in other cities. So I've seen it. I've had stuff sent to me. So, you know, it's a good idea that if you're next to a large city, try and avoid it. California especially. They've already done stuff in LA. I wouldn't put anything past them to do stuff in Oakland, San Francisco, Sacramento. So just keep that in mind. If you're planning on going into those cities, make sure that you have a way out. Excuse me. With that said, guys, I'm going to get off. I just wanted to do a quick one. And I hope everybody's safe. Hope calmer heads prevail soon. You guys take care. Love you all.